You guys welcome. I am so excited. I've had an interview for a little while because holidays are crazy. So this will be one and then we'll go more. But I am so excited, guys. I have Jen from, oh, I just forgot it, Our Family Vine, right? On Instagram. Right. Love her. Most people now I meet over social media because I'm just growing, expanding all those kinds of things to find people. And I just love her already. She's adorable. Okay. And her family, you guys, they're so cute. She's got the cutest kids. Like, I die anytime she posts or does anything with them. So, and I just like, I seriously love her already. So if I'm ever in California, I'm going to come and find you and hug you.
Yes. Yes, please.
Anyway, okay. So I will go ahead and I will let Jen introduce herself and her cute family and all their goodness. So I will turn the time over to you.
Great. Hi, I am Jen. Some people even call me Jenny. And I am Filipino. And my husband and I have been married. His name is Caesar, and we've been married for over 20 years. Actually 20 years this year. Together for 26. So we've been together for a very long time. And we have 2 babies in heaven. And we have our rainbow baby, Gabby, who's now not a baby. She's 18 now. She just turned 18. And we have Jonathan, who is 10, Coda, who's 9, and Kaya, who is 7. Oh my goodness, they're growing up so fast. So yeah, and I guess I'll just start from the beginning, So Caesar and I, we fell in love through college, got together, and we love kids. So we always thought we were going to have this big family. And then when I got pregnant, they were twin boys, Angel and Christian. And yeah, at the very end, I was 37 weeks, literally days from my scheduled C-section. Due to complications of the pregnancy, one was growing bigger than the other. They passed in utero. And that was really hard, especially since it was our first pregnancy. And so not expecting that, of course, not expecting that to happen. So yeah, first pregnancy, I still had to deliver, and we did lose them. And since they were pretty much full grown, like we had to go through a service and do everything. And after them, we tried to get pregnant. We went through a period of not being able to get pregnant for some odd reason. We're talking a couple years, and we just kept trying and kept thinking we would be pregnant, and then it wouldn't happen. So one day, like, Caesar's parents sat us down and was like, I don't know if you guys fully let go of the twins yet. Because we still had all their stuff because we were ready for them. So our home still had all their stuff. We never packed it away. And we're talking, it's been 3 years and we still had everything. And they were like, just pack it up. You could keep it at our house or put it in storage. If you don't want to give it away. And maybe that, then see if that helps, maybe not seeing it every day was helping you. So it was actually Caesar who did it for us. He packed up everything, and which I know it was the hardest thing he ever did, and put everything away. And so when that happened, obviously for me to walk in and seeing a house just with everything gone, it was like feeling that loss all over again. But it also was like letting go and letting God, kind of. And of course, I'm not like letting go of them, because never, they're always a part of our family, but maybe be at peace a little bit. And 2 months later, I was pregnant. So like, I honestly believe that I just had to let go and or be at peace with it so that we can move on, so I did get pregnant. And while like we were trying to get pregnant, I did have this dream, and I always, believe if you will, but I had a dream and the twins visited me in my dream. And, I had a conversation with them, but at the end, when we said bye, they they went to a little girl, like a like a younger little girl, and they were playing with her. And that's all I remember from the dream. So I knew that the next pregnancy that I was going to have was going to be a girl, like, because that would just, I was like, I met her, like I knew it was going to be a girl. So when I found out I was pregnant, I told Caesar, it's going to be a girl. Of course, he's like, you don't know, we'll see. And I was like, I know it. Like, it's this feeling. And so, of course, it was a girl. And then to just top it off, she is born on the same birthday as them. So to me, it was like, see, like they picked her for us. And I don't know, like that's what I believe. And to show us even more, like in case we doubted it, she's also going to be born on our day. Like this is from us. Like you're going to be okay. Like for us, it took just the worst day in our life and just really like, wow, and but I did have complications toward the end of the pregnancy. I had what's called placenta previa, which is where the placenta attaches to the uterus. And unfortunately, while I gave birth to my daughter Gabby, I was hemorrhaging, so they did have to remove my uterus so that we couldn't have any more kids. So after that, we actually thought, okay, well, this is going to be our family, or the just the three of us, and so, we were like, okay, we were so happy she was healthy, and for me, that's all that mattered. She was healthy, she's here. It was like, I did it, like, yay. And so, fast forward a few years, I just kept getting this feeling that we weren't done, which is like this, like through dreams, through just feelings, like it was a very strong, and we're pretty spiritual people. Like Caesar and I are really, really strong in our faith. And it was just this pull that we aren't done yet, that I kept feeling that our family was supposed to be bigger. Like we weren't done. And I would wake up and I'd pray and I'd be like, how are we gonna, like, doesn't make sense. Because, in our family, like nobody in my family has adopted, no one in Caesar's family has adopted. So that we had never talked about it. We had never discussed it. It wasn't something that, was anything that we thought we were going to do. So obviously I was like, but that's just what I was feeling, what I was hearing, I was like, no, it's supposed to be adoption. So, and it was so strong. So, but I was keeping it to myself. I wasn't telling Caesar yet. It was something that I was, just thinking about and praying about. And then finally one day I was like, I told him. And the beautiful thing about like me and Caesar's relationship is that I can go to him and be like, it's this feeling, it's this, like I'm praying about it, and he gets it. Like it's not like, okay, sure, you just want to do this. No, like he understands where I'm coming from, and he did. And he, he admitted, he's like, can I sit with it? Like, can I think about it? And I was like, of course, like full respect. I've been sitting on it for a while. You take it and you decide what you want, because we're going to do this together. It's not going to be just me. Like if we're going to do it, it's a family, it's all of us. And that's just how it's going to be. And so he, he goes, I just want to pray about it. And he's a big believer of like signs and his beliefs. So he's like, I need just time with it. And I was like, of course, go ahead, take as long as you want. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen, So he did. He spent, I'm talking months. It wasn't like he really thought about it. He really wanted to make sure that he was going to do this. But I know him. We work with kids. He loves kids. He's like a dad to so many kids. So I knew, like, I was like, I know he would be so amazing at it, but I also knew it had to be his choice. So, so after a few months, you know, we brought it up again, or I can't remember if it was me or him. And he said, I got the sign that I needed. And yeah, let's do it. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So now that he was on board, we wanted to get Gabby on board, our daughter. So, we had to do it as a family. So we explained it to her, kind of told it into like an age appropriate way that we could. She was 4 or 5 years old at the time. She was so excited. Oh my gosh. She was like, yes, when is this happening? What's gonna happen? Because she's always wanted a sibling. So she was like really excited. So for adoption, we looked into private domestic adoption. And we were working with a facilitator at this time, and we just said, somewhere in like California, LA, if someone, for a birth mom or birth parent. And so when we did the home study, you only get a year. I don't know anywhere else, but for us, the home study is only good for a year. So we said, okay, we'll give it a year and we'll see what happens, So that was, I think it was May of 2010. And the whole year was going by. A few matches, we like maybe it didn't go through, and it was like, it's okay, whatever baby's gonna come is gonna come. So it was more in April. We only had till May, and then we would have to start the whole process all over again. So it was the end of April. It was Good Friday. We get a call, and there is a baby already born, but he wasn't born in California. He was actually in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is a twin city, which was kind of brought us back to thinking of our twins. Cause I was like, what, of all places, like he's born in a twin city. So that was pretty, for us, was like, wow, that's crazy. So, but we still had to fly out there, and we still had to see if they would still choose us, and so, that's an experience of itself. We had to go to the hospital, and we met his birth family, beautiful people. And we had that, and they did choose us, and it was both of them, and they chose us. And that is something that meant so much, because they chose us, and at the time, he didn't, this is Jonathan's favorite story. He loves to tell the story. He, he didn't have a name yet. So his birth mom said, I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to pick a name or had a name already. But we just had this feeling like it should be all of us. Like it was like, we should name him together. Like if it's just something for him, to know like that you were there, like we did something together. And we asked her, his birth mom, like, let's name him together, and we liked the name Nicholas, and we asked her what name she liked, and she said Jonathan. And my daughter was the one, Gabby was the one who said, Nicholas Jonathan. No, she was like, Jonathan Nicholas. She's like, yeah. And we all agreed. We all kind of laughed, because it was such a beautiful, beautiful like name. It just went Jonathan Nicholas. And it was like the combination of, his birth family and his adoptive family, like together in his name. And that just was really special for us. So, we ended up adopting him 6 months later, and he was a newborn. So we did get to meet him on the day, maybe a few hours after he was born. And so after we adopted him, we thought, okay, then it's just going to be, them two. And I want to say a year or 2 years went by, and we were like, I was still feeling like we thought we were done again. And then it was like, no, I don't think we're done yet. There was a big age gap between Gabby and Jonathan too. There was about 7-year age difference, even though they're extremely, extremely close. Those two are super tight. That you know, I didn't feel like we were done yet. We both didn't. So we decided to go through the foster care program here in Los Angeles, and to find out that it's like the biggest child welfare system in the United States. And a big portion is children of color, which is a whole nother debate on that as well. But so we were like, yes, let's do this. Let's and of course they did say, but when you foster, it is helping a family. So obviously when we were doing that, we knew going in that it could be temporary and it could be forever, but you have to believe in the reunification process, and you just have to guide it and just be there for the child. And so we were okay with that, whether this was going to be temporary forever. We were in it. We were going to help this child no matter what. Like, I was like, let's do this. So when we did it, we just specified, like, we wanted to keep the same birth order. Jonathan was about 2.5 at the time. Gabby was 7. No, wait, whatever, 2 plus 7, 9. She was 9. I was like, my math is off. So she, okay, so we decided to go through the foster care program. We went with a foster agency here in Los Angeles, and we did everything. And the thing is, at first we were still, deciding if we were going to do it. And Gabby was very insistent on us doing this again. Like, she was like, please. And we just thought it was cute, like, oh, you're so cute. Yes, of course we're going to do it. We just have to find the time. We got to go to orientation. We have classes. So we have to figure out our schedule and make sure we can do everything. And she actually, and I have this letter, she has a letter that she wrote to me and Caesar, and she wrote all her feelings in it. And she was like, big, bold letters, please adopt. Please take it seriously. I'm, trying to summarize her letter, but she really, really wanted us to. And she was like, don't just say, oh, we'll think about it, or maybe we'll do this. She was like, please just go to the class. Just start. She was like, just start. And every time we'd open a cabinet or a medicine cabinet, she would have a please adopt. There was like notes throughout her whole house. And so yes, we did go to orientation, and it broke our heart to go to orientation and just to hear about all the kids in Los Angeles that just needed to be in a family setting, and it broke our heart. So yes, we did open our home. We were just looking for a child younger than Jonathan, for a boy, open to any race. And we got a few calls, but in the end, we got the final call for Coda, and they said, is it okay because he is only a year younger than your son, Jonathan? And we're like, that's fine, because we always felt whatever child we get a call for, that is so meant to be. That's who it's supposed to. That's who we're here for. So we said yes, and oh my God, he came, and he was just so beautiful. Like, he was 2.5, and he came in like he was a man already. Like, oh my God. And he cracks up when we tell him the story, because we always say, you came in like you were running things, like you knew, like you were a man. Like, and because he was 2.5, we had to have a toddler bed. We couldn't have like a crib. And so we're like, oh no, because we only had a crib. So like we went out, I ran and grabbed him a toddler bed. We bought it. So Caesar was actually still putting it together when he got dropped off. And so cutest thing. So Kodo goes in the room where Caesar's putting it, and he just was looking, and he started picking up tools, handing them over to Caesar. And like, he was like, I got this. What, you want me to hold these 2 parts? And then we're going to put this together. I was like, you're just so cute, loved him like right off the bat. And so, we work with kids, so we know firsthand that trust is something that takes time, and something we know you don't rush, and you just give them their space and their time. And so that's what we were doing. We're going to try to and we were very routine. We were very, very routine. We knew how important a routine and schedule is, so that he knew everything, whenever he was going to eat, whenever we were going to do this or that, or an activity, or time for bed. Everything was so routine, morning, night, consistently the same, so that he just knew what to expect and there was no surprises. And he was amazing. He actually followed Gabby around. He clinged onto her immediately when he first got here. And, seeing them just develop the sibling relationship was just so adorable. So then he had been with us for 2 weeks when we get a phone call from his caseworker, and they were like, if his case goes to adoption, would you guys, are you guys interested in adopting him? And we were like, of course, absolutely. And they were like, okay, good. He has a baby sister and we would like to keep them together. I was like, yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Are you kidding me? And funny, because Gabby wanted a brother and a sister. And she'd be like, I'm praying for a brother and a sister, a brother and a sister. And we're like, one at a time, we'll see. So then we found out he had a baby sister and she was coming. And I told Gabby, she was so excited. And I was like, okay, you can slow down on the prayers now because a baby's coming. And so, yes, Kaya came. She was just under 3 months old. Oh my God, adorable. She was, and it was, I don't know how much time Coda and Kaya actually had together outside her home. But they just knew. He wouldn't leave her side. There was just this immediate bond between the both of them that we saw, and that we just were like, yes, they need each other. This is beautiful. They are together. And their case ended up going to adoption. So they're together forever. So we were able to adopt them 2.5 years after fostering them. And that is how we all became our family vine. So, and that's how we all came together. And we, oh my gosh, this has been just an amazing experience for our family. Just, people, they want to know, oh, everyone sugarcoats adoption and it's always beautiful. And it is also bittersweet. There is trauma that you should be aware of if you are thinking about adoption. Don't go in thinking, ooh, this is the movies and it's like, this is just like any parenting situation. You're every day, like you can make it through the day. Yeah. So for us, I constantly, like, what I try to do is just constantly learn as much as I can, be there, open communication with me and then all my kids. And that includes Caesar. We are like, talk to us, tell me how you're feeling, how's your day, but like really talk to us. Like, don't ever think that you're going to hurt my feelings. Like, just tell us how you feel if we do something wrong. Because yes, we are the parents, but we make mistakes. Like, I might accidentally do something wrong. Call me on it. It's okay. Call me on it. I apologize. Caesar and I apologize to our kids. Like, if we do something wrong, I'm so sorry. Okay, what would have been a better way to say it? Like, it's a constant conversation between our kids, because they have to feel comfortable and not feel like rejection in any kind of way or feel scared in any way, because I don't want them to feel like they don't have a voice in this family. Yes, we're the parents, but we aren't your authority figures. Like, we're a family, and a family comes together and a family talks. It's not always going to be perfect. And not everybody can be happy 24/7. So, just, say how you feel. You have any questions regarding your adoption. They all know their adoption. They all know they're adopted. They know their adoption story. They they know that they can always ask us any questions. They know they don't have to share anything. Like, we are like, your story is your story. If you don't want to share anything, don't share anything. And when you feel like you're ready to, then share it. Whatever you want to share, that's yours. The only thing that I share, even on our social media, is the process that we did. for adoption, like the whole adoption process. Sometimes I talk about certain traumas, and sometimes in a general way, it could be some specific just to help parents, but I try really hard not to say anything regarding their backstory. Like I try my hardest, like I kind of try to think about what I say before it comes out, because I don't ever want to cross that border. I don't ever want to put something out there, social media, that I cannot take back. And that they'll see, and they'll find out that way. You know what I mean? Although they know everything, but still, maybe they don't want me to say something. So that's something that we really try our hardest to really be sensitive to that, you know. Um, but it is, sometimes people do want to hear the highs and the lows, or the, of adoption, but it's kind of hard because you don't want to, throw your kids under the bus and be like, oh, this, because I don't want to ever pinpoint something, you know. But I do try to say that this is common. Yes. Was there, food hoarding? Was there like hiding of toys? Or was there, yes, there was food issues. Yes. Stuff like that, where it is something that people talk about in, the adoption community, but I try my hardest not to ever take away who they are. So there's that fine line.
No, I think it's beautiful. And oh my gosh, I just love your story so much. And I feel like
Thanks.
it goes with being a parent in general. Like I have never really heard anybody kind of like, you're the parent, but I love that you're like, I'm not the authoritative type. Like because it's true. Like you want your kids to build that trust with you.
Mm-hmm.
So my dog's having a dream.
Oh.
She's like making noises. You want your kids to feel, like you said, trust. You want your kids to trust you and to be able to come to you with things and be like, and I love that how you're like, I did something wrong. Please come and talk to me about it. I think it's beautiful. And that's one thing I have noticed that, and I feel okay saying this as an adoptee, that adoptees like me have gotten frustrated with people because they feel like adoptive parents are trying to share the story. But for me, that is not what I have seen with like all the adoptive parents I have met. They're not trying to do anything to be like, oh, here's Jack and he did this and this and this and this. They're simply just being like a general thing, like you said, like, the food and the toys, but it's not something that's so personal to that child. Because I get that. And I personally don't feel like that's just adoptees. I feel like that goes with anybody. Nobody wants anybody going on social media, definitely not social media, and being like, oh my gosh, did you see what, Susan did over here with that and this and that person? Like, no, nobody wants that.
Right.
So I think, yes, it's the same respect, and I know adoptees get frustrated when adoptive parents are like showing and sharing their family, but everything I've seen from a lot of the adoptive parents, they don't go on in its specifics. It's like, today we went into this and she had a question about this and we just simply answered it this way, but it's nothing that's going to exploit the child, because I totally agree. Adoptees need to have their voice and share their story. And I have found that just recently, the last couple of years myself. I mean, I'm 34, so I'm not like tiny anymore, and I just think, I just love everything that you guys stand for. And I think that's so amazing. And like I said, in most of these, whether you believe in God or not, adoption has completely solidified my belief in God. And I can tell 100% with you and your husband, it's the same way, like with everything that's come to fruition with your family. I mean, all these different things, same birthday, twins in Minnesota. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, it's just so crazy. And it's crazy to see the signs when you're looking at it. And so I just think it's cool. And I love like foster parents even more. I have such a mad respect for, because that, like, Instant Family is one of my favorite movies, because I feel like they really portray the hard crap. They don't make it look like, oh, it's easy, we fostered and did this. They make it hard, and they make you show like the struggles of the kids. And I just love that movie. My dog, crazy. But no, and seriously, I so appreciate it, and I so appreciate your thoughts, and thank you for sharing. Like, because like you said, people like to make adoption look like it's rainbows and butterflies, which a lot of the time there is beautiful things about it. But like you said, I mean, there's trauma that comes with it. But I also feel like, and some adoptees might hate me for this, I feel like there's trauma no matter what. Like,
Right.
even if you're brought up in like this magical family, there's things that you're going to find out that are like, oh, okay, maybe when I was young, I didn't like this so much. And maybe this is why maybe I act this way and this, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
granted, I get there's definitely, because I mean, there's stuff I'm going to therapy for trauma with, like, now that I'm older and, figuring out some option crap, but like, it's just take care of
Yeah.
yourself is like my biggest thing. Take care of you, do the best you can. There's gonna be trauma, there's gonna be crap, there's gonna be craziness. But I just love everything that you and your
Yeah.
family do. And I just love, like,
Oh.
it's just so awesome. You and your husband. I just wish there were more people in the world like this. Just love. Like, you look at you and it's just love. Like, even when you first popped on the
Oh,
screen, like,
thanks.
she's just one of those people that you just want to like hug and be like, thank you for everything that you do. Like,
Oh,
seriously, because I
thanks.
just love it. I love meeting good people and I love people that advocate for it, but at the same time, they respect, all the hardships that comes with it.
Right. I will say one thing that you know, being Filipino, we're very, proud to be Filipino. Like we have that. We're very happy and we love to say I'm Filipino. And, same with my husband being Mexican. He's like Mexican pride, like very proud of their culture and their heritage. So when we plan on adopting, we wanted to make sure that they knew who they were and they were proud of who they are. So my kids, Jonathan is Mr. have to be involved in everything at school. Like if there is a spirit day, he needs to be all out and head to toe, whatever it is. So of course he last minute he says, "Oh, tomorrow's, multicultural day at school." And I was like, "Oh, okay," and we had done a 23andMe for him because yes, he is African American, but we also wanted him to know more about like his whole like background. And when he did, there is this pride of knowing, that he's majority Nigerian and a lot of his ancestors from Jamaica. So for him, he walks around, he's like, "I'm mostly Nigerian, I got Jamaican blood." Like I love that he can connect to that, like he can say that just like I'm proud to be Filipino, like he has that, and I think that's so important. And so when it was Multicultural Day, he drew like a Nigerian flag, and then he made like glasses that had like Jamaican, and then he wore like a Jamaican flag hat. I don't know what he made at school, but then he came home. This is so sweet. He came home and he was like, "Mom, look, I made my Nigerian flag and then my Jamaican flag." I was like, "That's awesome!" And he goes, I finished the Mexican flag for Dad, but I didn't get to finish your Filipino flag or the Philippines flag." And I was like, "It's okay." He's like, "But I want to. I'm gonna finish it." I was like, "Don't even worry. Be proud of who you are first. Love all of who you are. Don't worry about me, representing me because I'm always gonna have your back. Like, don't think you have to represent like the Philippines. Like, yay, that's so sweet. But as long as you are, proud of, your Nigerian side and your Jamaican side and all the other parts that make you you first, then yes, of course, you can, of course, do that. And for us, that's important because then he connected to his classmates or he came home and he's like, "Oh, such and such is also Nigerian and she wore this and this one also, she, is from Jamaica. She has Jamaican blood, so I could relate to her." And to me, I love that, because he's finding that pride for himself of who he is in a multicultural family, but he finds that. And we, it's so beautiful. I love that. For me, that's very important if you are looking to adopt, to make sure your child finds the love of who they are, like their culture, who they are. And I know that's been a big thing in the whole adoption world, but I believe that it's extremely important. If I can be so proud of my heritage, why won't my kids be proud of their heritage and who they are? So we are trying, to do more, integrating all the cultures of our family and making sure, that we accept and fully appreciate all of us, because I think that's extremely important. Okay, that's my 2 cents. I just wanted to throw that in.
Amen to all of that, because I do feel like with my generation of adoptees, especially international, like that have come to the States and this and that, not much was done as far as like culture goes. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? And I do not like anything against my parents with that, because like me and my husband were talking about it, and he's like, it just wasn't the thing back then. And even my mom to this day is like, I wish I would have done more stuff you know, with Columbia and you. But that is my favorite thing. I feel like this whole shift with adoption and more recent adoptions, that's what it is. They're doing everything to get everything for their kids, with who they are and what they are, and trying to immerse them in their culture. And, you know, I just think it's beautiful. I just love it. I just love what everybody's doing for it. Like, really, I really, really do. And it's just, it's amazing. And I know every situation is different, but I love everything that you guys do. And I love your kids. And I can't wait for everybody to like go and follow you and see your cute kids and your cute family. Like, seriously. And I so appreciate you doing this.
Thank you. Thank you. I am learning a lot, like, honestly, social media, to be able to hear adoptee stories and hear their point of view, especially yours. Like, it helps as an adoptive parent to see from your point of view, because I may not see it the same way. And then you open open my eyes to a certain situation. And it's like, oh, you know what? I get it. I was wrong, or I didn't see it that way. Totally get it. I got it now.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's awesome. I love that. And that's my favorite thing, is like, more than anything, I just want to have others educate others. That's why my focus is doing this, because there's so many different things. And then every time I do an interview, I learn. Like, I learn about different things. And that's like at a stage of my point, or a stage of my life that I'm at. I just want to learn. I just want to learn everything that I can.
Yes.
Because it'll benefit me and, you know, others. And I just, great. So anything else that you want to add on?
Just, adoption really changed our life and our family. And I absolutely adore and love my kids. There is no such thing as, adoptive bio kids in our family. They are our kids. 100,000% have their back. They are part of me. They are just a part of my soul and my heart. Like, there's no difference. They're my kids, and I will have their back forever. So if you have the heart and there's something, definitely do your research. Kind of don't go in blindly. Patience is so key. Lot of patience, time, and it's things that the memories we've created and the things that you see them overcome on their own. Ooh, got me a little sad just hearing this. It's amazing. To just see them grow and change and adapt, and just see them coming out of their shell and learn and trust you. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's all I could say.
Yeah, just see them becoming amazing humans. There's like nothing better that you can ask for in being a parent, really.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And yes, seriously, my cousin just moved to California. We're gonna go down.
Yes.
I might find you.
Yes, please find me.
So anyway, but seriously,
we're always home.
No, okay, good to know. Thank you so much, Jen, for taking some time.
Yes, thank you.
I really appreciate it. I will tag her on this video, you guys, if you have any questions. She's awesome. She's amazing. Like, super friendly. I found her through another mom that does other things. But anyway, I love her. Go follow her. Her and her family are adorable. You're going to fall in love with her kids and her family, just as I have, because she's so fun and so lighthearted. But at the same time, like she said, you got to be a little bit real. But so awesome. So seriously, thank you, Jen, so much.
Thank you so much.